It is a lovely Thursday and welcome to tonight's Sunset News. In this half hour, we bring you the latest news, stories from the community, economic indicators, tomorrow's weather, as well as sport. I am Diana Master. In the news tonight. In a bid to ensure that investment pledges are realized, Namibia's investment agency has said it will, air quotes, do things differently. Government has in recent years spent millions to court investors, a move which has secured billions in pledges, but little to nothing in reality. From the 2016 Invest in Namibia drive, where backers pledged investments exceeding 3.5 billion Namibian dollars, to the 2019 High Economic Growth Summit, where investors pledged over 30 billion Namibian dollars, only a small margin of pledges have seen the light of day. In its latest investment treasure hunt, government through the Namibia Investment Promotion and Development Board spent over 20 million Namibian dollars to take part in the Dubai Expo, where it initially targeted to secure 60 leads. It, however, managed to land over 190 when the 6-month expo ended last month. The board did not indicate the monetary value of the leads secured, but with Namibia not boasting the best track record when it comes to taking up projects punted at investment in Dabas, the board's chief executive officer, Nangula Wanja, knows the road ahead will not be a smooth one if past performance counts for anything. The Namibia Revenue Agency, NAMRA, has suspended 4 of its employees over a tax refund scheme through which the agency lost at least 15 million Namibian dollars. Namibian Sun understands the corruption scheme is not limited to its Windhoek office and involves employees throughout the country. Those suspended include taxation officers and other staffers at various decision-making levels at the agency. NAMRA recently said it was working on unraveling the scam, which would take about 3 months. Commissioner Sam Shivute yesterday remained tight-lipped when probed about the scam, saying investigations were ongoing. We will take 3 months to determine the extent of the scam and introduce measures to curb these fraudulent refunds. NAMRA will provide a progress update on this case by end of June. Kindly bear with us, he said. Now in our next story, as a result of the corona pandemic, students in particular faced major challenges as teaching was completely switched to online mode. On the one hand, this meant that valuable social contacts were missing, and on the other, many could not even participate in their lessons as they did not have the technical equipment. 8,000 students were affected by this very problem, according to Namibre, which is why the company is donating 690 laptops worth 3.3 million Namibian dollars. In a press statement last Wednesday, the city of Windhoek announced that a borehole was drilled at the Okukuna farm. The well was permitted on the farm at ERF 3192 Goriancab to promote food and nutritional safety. This is said to be one of the several infrastructure improvements being made at Farm Okukuna to ensure a consistent and competent water supply for all farming activities. According to the statement, more than 100 people will benefit from the farm's products. The city thanked the United Nations Development Programme for supporting the Build Back Better, also known as BBB project. The BBB program aims to support vulnerable people so they can grow their own food. Now in our next story, the Ministry of the Environment, Forestry and Tourism confiscated a truck with raw wood over the weekend in Windhoek. The wood was destined for export to South Africa. According to the ministry's spokesperson Romeo Muyunda, the 1,500 wooden planks currently in the ministry's possession and the transport permit has been temporarily revoked, pending further investigation to determine where this wood came from and whether or not it was obtained legally. Now poor Namibians will struggle even more to afford the basic things that sustain life due to rising food prices. Russia and Ukraine, the world's largest grain producers, are largely trapped in those countries and unable to reach markets. The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations Food Price Index averaged 12.6% higher in March than in February, which is a giant leap and reached its highest level since inception in 1990. That brings us to the end of our top stories. In our community talk tonight, we focus on the housing situation in Swakopmund. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now in Community Talk, Vice President Nangolo Mbumba recently visited the mass housing site at Swakopmund, where hundreds of houses have been left in various states of construction for years due to court battles involving the contractors. He expressed his concern that the homes have been left in an incomplete state while there was an urgent need for housing in the town. Adam Hartman reports. Let's take a look.
Vice President Nangolo Mbumba recently visited the mass houses site at Swakopmund, where hundreds of houses have been left in various states of construction for years due to court battles involving the contractors. Mbumba was accompanied by Irongo Governor Neville Andre, Swakopmund Constituency Councillor Siska Howard-Smith and Swakopmund CEO Alpheus Benjamin, while he inspected the site consisting of foundations, half-built houses, and finished but dilapidated and vandalized houses. Although he did not speak directly to the media, he did indicate that it was a concern that the houses were left in an uncompleted state, while there was an urgent need for housing in the town. He also understood that the court must take its course, but suggested that he would take the matter to the executive level. Howard Smith said, while the court matters drag on, at the end of the day, the people suffer because there are no houses for them.
Residents of Swakopmund know this place quite well. This has been here for the last 7-8 years. As you can see behind me, it's up to foundation level. We have 290 houses that's half built or almost nothing, just foundation. And on that side, you'll be able to see there's some houses that's been built up to roof level. And they currently under a contractor's lien. So they've been standing like this for years now, while this is a battle that's ongoing in court. And the big thing for me is we have people in the informal settlement just over the hill in front of me, and they look onto these houses daily, but they can't live here. So they live in these shacks, they look out on these houses, and there's just everybody pulls up their shoulders and says nothing can be done. And I understand the courts need to take their course, but 8 years is too long. We have to look at a better way to serve our people than keep something dragging on like this for 8 full years.
Benjamin also expressed the hope that the cases could be resolved soon, because some of the houses are ready for occupation. He said that the Swakopmund municipality has plans to make the houses available voetstoots and allow the new owners to construct them.
Because we have around about 291 houses available here, which some of them are ready for occupation. If, for example, the houses can be provided to the people as voetstoots, for example, they can reconstruct them and add whatever needs to be added. This project is very important because we have around about 22,000 people in Swakopmund on our master list who are in need of housing.
The mass housing project was a brainchild of former President Hifikepunye Pohamba to address the country's critical housing crisis with a promise to build 148,000 houses by 2030. Since the program was inaugurated in 2013, a small amount of houses have been constructed and are at different stages of completion in the various local authorities and regions.
In our story of the day, Roads Authority has launched a zero safety operation in collaboration with the Namibian police in Otjozondjupa region. More on that development after the break.
Choose your flex package with Paratus today. Sign up for ultra-fast fiber with the convenience of mobile LTE. That's 2 products in 1 bundle. It's new, it's 1 bill, and you can stay connected in more than 1 location.
For more information, visit paratus.africa/NA.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Welcome back. Now, the Roads Authority has launched a zero-tolerance safety operation in collaboration with the Namibian police in Otjozondjupa region. The operation will include 30 traffic officers, 190 crime prevention officers in all corners of the region. It is in this regard that the Namibian police in the region is calling on all those intending to travel this upcoming Easter weekend to plan their journeys well. Roads Authority Acting CEO Sydney Boyce said that there will be zero tolerance on road users who are violating any road laws.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Veli Katsau. I'm an inspector at the Road Fund Administration, and we are here to assist our clients, the road users, in the collection of road user charges and related activities. So what we do is we screen all our heavy vehicles, vehicles that are liable to pay mass distance charges. We check whether the payment is up to date. If not, we assist them, and those ones that are not registered with us for mass distance charges, we assist them to register. We have here our mobile van, which is converted into an office, and we have all our systems in place there. So, and also our the foreign vehicles, we assist them with cross-border charge permits. All our foreign vehicles, upon entry into the country, must have their cross-border permits issued at the borders, and they must carry them in their vehicles. We stop them, screen them, ask them whether the permits are in place, and those ones that don't have, we can assist them right away from here, from the van, to have that permit upon payment, of course.
Yes, thank you, Sydney Boyce, Acting CEO, Roads Authority. We are today here at the Chivarongo roadblock site as the Roads Authority Law Enforcement Task Team, of course part of the Easter Road Safety Campaign, together with our strategic and key stakeholders, such as the Namibian Police, the Motor Vehicle Accident Fund, National Road Safety Council, Namibia Private Sector Road Safety Forum, Road Fund Administration. So our objective, of course, for times such as the Easter festive season, expecting high traffic volumes, is to ensure that we create a safe and friendly road environment. Above all, nobody should die or be injured on our roads as a result of a road crash. That is the main objective. So it's more to talk about our strategies in terms of visibility, in terms of law enforcement approaches during this time on the different routes, especially B1, which is from the south towards Chicago, and the B2 from Windhoek to the coast. Those are the two routes that we're expecting high volume. So readiness, preparedness, so that we have a blessed Easter period.
Number. If you look in the southern direction, you will see the board there of MBA Fund. The accident response number is 9682. We are law enforcement agencies or members, and we're supposed to have it on our phones. That could be the number that can determine whether someone survived an accident or not. So
we will now take a quick ad break, and when we come back, we'll jump straight into economic news. Don't go anywhere. Thank you for staying with us. Let's take a look at the economic news. The high cost of living, household indebtedness, high levels of unemployment, slowing growth in assets have placed retirement planning low on the priority list for most people. Within the formal sector, there has been a growing trend to cash in one's retirement savings whenever the opportunity arises, either through a job change or when experiencing personal financial difficulties, Finance Minister Ipumbu Shimi said this week. The proposed Financial Institutions and Markets Act, which is expected to take effect in October, seeks compulsory preservation of retirement benefits for people who change jobs or stop working and want to withdraw their retirement benefits before they are old enough to retire, or otherwise to the member's dependents if the member passes away. Next up is the economic indicators. The Namibian dollar held its ground next to the Chinese yuan but is down against other major currencies. On the NSX, most stocks held their ground. However, Namibia Breweries took a dip at a 0.04%. Both the local and overall indices are down 0.01% and 0.36% respectively. All commodities are up, with zinc and Brent crude oil making the biggest leaps. After the break, we take a look at the weather predictions for the long weekend. See you soon. Welcome back. Let's have a look at the weather predictions for the Easter weekend. On Friday, Inanna is the hottest in the country with a maximum of 37 degrees and partly cloudy conditions, while Omaruru is sunny with a minimum of 14 degrees. Enties Bay, Swakopmund and Walvis Bay will be partly cloudy with a minimum of 13 degrees, while Lüderitz and Ariamsvlei will be sunny with a maximum of 24 degrees. Looking at Saturday, Windhoek and Gobabis can expect sunny conditions and a maximum of 28 degrees. Rehoboth and Oranjemund will also be sunny with maximum temperatures of 26 degrees. Swinging on over to Sunday, Tsumeb and Otjiwarongo can look forward to partly cloudy conditions and a maximum of 28 degrees. Rehoboth and Lüderitz will be sunny, expecting minimums of 10 degrees and 16 degrees respectively. And on Easter Monday, Katima and Rundu will be partly cloudy with minimum temperatures of 19 degrees, while Windhoek is sunny with a maximum of 29 degrees. Mariental will also be sunny with a maximum of 32 degrees, while Aranos can expect partly cloudy conditions and a minimum of 16 degrees. Now, after the break, we'll be taking a look at the international news, where we zone in on the lack of diversity when it comes to the appointment of global health decision makers. Stay with us. Now jumping straight into international news. According to an article by Helena Clark, former Prime Minister of New Zealand, new research reveals the gulf between the aims of organizations shaping health outcomes around the world and their governance structures and practices. We have learned over the past 2 years that the health sector is vital to our collective well-being and to our economies and sustainable livelihoods. Health workers around the world are local heroes, toiling tirelessly in their communities to battle the pandemic, while also endeavoring to ensure that basic medical care is maintained. Yet new research reveals that organizations making global health policies and dispensing resources affecting the health of billions of people worldwide have a grave leadership problem. They do not reflect the makeup of those they are meant to serve. The The 2022 report by Global Health 50/50 documents that leadership positions of global health organizations are dominated by men from high-income countries. A full 44% of board seats are occupied by men from high-income countries, while less than 1% of seats are held by women from low-income countries. Despite the enormous power these organizations wield to establish priorities, guide billions of dollars of investment, and respond to health needs in the short and long term, a comprehensive and rigorous analysis of the sector paints a picture of glacial progress in increasing the diversity of leadership. What this means in practice is that approaches and solutions to the health challenges we all face are determined by a very narrow subset of humanity. Now, after the break, we'll return with sports news, and we start off with Namibian athletes that performed well at the ASA Athletics Grand Prix at Germiston. That story and more from the sports scene after this short break. Don't go anywhere. Moving over to sports news, starting off with some great news. Namibian athletes performed well at the ASA Athletics Grand Prix 4 in Germiston after some finished the event at podium places. Men's triple jump star Roger Haitengi took a silver medal with a jump of 15.93 meters in an event won by Ethan Oliver, who managed 15.94 meters to take gold. Ryan Williams took the men's bronze in discus throw with a distance 55.30 meters in an event won by Victor Hogan, whose discus landed at 61.54 meters. Ivan Denny Geldenhuys finished fourth in the 400 meter, clocking 46.96 minutes, while David Dam was eighth in the 800 meter races, clocking a personal best of 1 hour, 52 minutes and 12 seconds. Tigers Football Club yesterday announced the death of its former shot stopper David Peterson. The player was part of the club's triumphant team that won the NFA Cup and the MTC Namibia Premier League during the 2015-2016 season. Former teammate at Tigers Football Club Romario Njavera has described Peterson's death as shocking, stating that he was a guy full of life and energy during their playing days. The Oshakati Pharmacy Track and Field Championship was officially launched this week at the Oshakati Stadium in the northern town. The Oshakati Pharmacy Track and Field Championship calls on for participation from track stars all over the northern part of Namibia, as they will be scouting for athletes for the 2024 Olympic Games. Facilitated under the Ohangwena Athletics Club, the championship is set to take place on 23 July at the Oshakati Independent Stadium, and the event is open to all Namibian and international athletes. The event is going to take place annually, and Oshakati Pharmacy, the main sponsor, has pledged 50,000 Namibian dollars to ensure this event is a success. Now, after the break, we will get into the highlights from today's broadcast. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now, if you didn't get a chance to catch our top stories tonight, fear not, we have you covered. Here are some of the highlights from today's broadcast. The Namibia Revenue Agency has suspended 4 of its employees over a tax refund scheme through which the agency lost at least 15 million Namibian dollars. Namibian Sun understands that the corruption scheme is not limited to its Windhoek office and involves employees throughout the country. Those suspended include taxation officers and other staffers at various decision-making levels at the agency. As a result of the corona pandemic, students in particular faced major challenges as teaching was completely switched to online mode. On the one hand, this meant that valuable social contacts were missing, and on the other, many could not even participate in their lessons because they did not have the technical equipment. Now, poor Namibians will struggle even more to afford the basic things that sustain life due to rising food prices. Russia and Ukraine, the world's largest grain producers, are largely trapped in those countries and unable to reach markets. And with that, we have come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on our Facebook and as well as on all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website oneup2.com. Remember, Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 as well as GoTV channel 94 every weekday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. I am Diana Master and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.